Hi all, this is Vikas from Best Price Training. Today I would like to present a small demonstration about data science. In this demonstration we will understand what is this actually data science, where we can use it, why it is still in a very native place right now, and what are the various technologies that we will cover in our detailed training curriculum. So the first point here comes as, what is this data science actually? So guys, in our today's environment, we know the presence of cyberspace. All of us are, generating set of data every day, every minute, every second. This data is getting stored somewhere. This data is being processed, and this data is the source of information about us. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are going to purchase, what kind of mentality we are having, right? All these informations we can deduce from the data that we used to share or we used to store, right? Based on these data, our corporate companies, our political parties, our kind of institutions, different organizations try to understand the customer behavior towards a particular specimen. So now let me take a very small example on this, and let us try to understand what this data science is. And in the meanwhile, we will discuss a couple of use cases as well during this discussion. So let us take an example of an e-commerce website. Okay, this e-commerce website can be your Amazon, it can be Rackspace, it can be eBay, anything like that. Now the point is, let's say on some fine day you've just logged into that ebay.com. Now you started surfing on that particular website, e-commerce site. Okay, so let's say you are there for around 1 hour. For 10 minutes, you search for different clothing items. Then 10 minutes you use for footwears. Then for 10 minutes you look for various sports items. And after that, you started looking for the laptops. Okay. You are searching for the laptop from different companies, from different vendors. You are trying to compare the prices. You are trying to looking for different kind of configurations. All right. All these details you are going through. And now, after let's say half an hour, you just purchased that laptop and made payment through the credit card. Just for an example. Now what will happen after 3-4 days, let's say this laptop delivered at your doorstep. You've checked that and found that, okay, this laptop is working fine and there is no issue at all. Now, you must notice this point, that on all the other social media platforms, whether this is a Facebook, whether this is a Twitter, your emails or something like that, you might see kind of advertisements related to the laptop or the peripherals related to the laptop, as you can see here. Even on the next time, if you log into that same e-commerce website, let's say after 3-4 weeks again you've logged into the same e-commerce website, in that case you will be able to see that different products which are related to this particular laptop. All right, this is kind of online advertising part. Actually, this is a part of an online advertising. So based on your choice for the laptop, where you have served for around 30 minutes, you check for different vendors, you check for different companies, you check for compare different prices. Based on that, these companies come to know that okay, this particular person may be interested in laptops, so let's show him some more products related to that. He might be good to purchase all of them or some of them as well, right? Now, even you might have seen, might have observed that, let's say, if you are looking for a Dell laptop, let's say, so you will get some kind of recommendations that those people who have seen a Dell laptop, they also look for Lenovo, something like that, right? So how they are doing this actually, because you know very well that you are not a single person who is doing some kind of online shopping. There are millions of users around the globe who are engaged in these activities around almost for 24 by 7 environment, right? And they are some purchasing those goods, some are just surfing on these websites like this. So how do these e-commerce companies know that the person who looked for the Dell laptops have also looked for this Lenovo? This is done via your this is done by your cookies which are present or given to the concerned system. Okay, all these e-commerce companies, all these online social media platforms, these are in fact analyzing your cookies, and based on that, they are predicting that okay, this particular user is behaving in that particular direction, so he might be interested in that particular product or something like that. Now here is a challenge. Here is a challenge. How these companies are storing this tremendous amount of data and how they are processing it, or how they are predicting the specific trend of that user, right? Similarly, like once you have got into this LinkedIn, let's say you're logged into the LinkedIn, or let's say some other Facebook kind of platform, let's say there is a social media platform like Facebook. So while you are that is surfing on the Facebook, you might have observed sometimes that there is a kind of there are some profile pictures or links actually, like people you may know, right? People you may know. So how do they get this information that you might be known to this particular person, or that particular person might be a friend of yours or something like that? This is actually, it is a very simple formula here. Like if A knows B, okay, and B knows C, then there may be some probability that A may or may not know C. There is some small probability. Now here, in case of this Facebook, you update a lot of things like your school, right? Like your hometown, like your college details, like the first company you have where you have worked, where you are currently working. All these details you update on that particular Facebook. So based on that data, this Facebook or these other e-commerce web, that is the social media website, just analyze that data and check out like what could be the next recommendation, or as a friend recommendation for a given particular user. Okay, so the thing is, this process of making some kind of recommendations is called as your data science. It's termed under the what is called as data science. Like you are looking at some particular data, you are simply analyzing that some sort of data, and you are trying to predict something from that particular data. This process or this procedure here is called as your data science. Got it? Now, what should be the main scenario whenever we will be working on the data science. The scenario is, apart from algorithm, we should have huge amount of data, right? We should have huge amount of data that we need to study. You know very well, like if you have huge amount of data, larger the amount of data, more precise the result will be. Okay, let us take an example over here. Let's take an example over here. Let's say, I have a client who is from agricultural domain. Okay, so what happens, like on every day we have to measure a couple of parameters. We have to analyze a couple of parameters, and based on this analysis, we have to find out like what is the temperature, right? What is the soil salinity, right? Soil salinity, right? What is the carbon dioxide level, right? What is the nitrogen level, right? How much water is present on the soil, and how much humidity is water or humidity, you can say, or humidity over there. All these details which are related to the agricultural goods are supposed to be measured. Okay, and we have to analyze and predict that, okay, if this is the temperature for last 5 days, so it's something like that, in the sixth day also this may be the kind of temperature over there. That's what we can try to predict. Okay, let me show that to you. So here, let's say if I store this data for, let's say, for temperature first of all. Okay, let us consider about the temperature part. Let us consider about this temperature part. So if I have various sensors to get the data about the temperature, okay, and or we are collecting that data on every hour basis. So at the end of the day, I will have around 24 records, right? But now let us reduce this frequency to from 1 hour to 1 second. Reduce or increase this frequency from 1 hour to 1 second. Now what will happen? You will have more than 72,000 records on daily basis. More than 72,000 records per day. Okay. Now the thing is, like, whenever you need to analyze that data, if you have the set of huge amount of data, it will be helpful to you to get the better understanding or get the more precise result. Okay, now the thing is, let me give you some idea about that, what we are going to do with that concerned result. Let me give you a demo of that. Let's say I have some kind of graphical analysis. Let's do some kind of graphical analysis over here. I have a graph like day and average temperature. Okay, that is, let's say I have a Monday. We can go for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we have Sunday. I have this data with me. Okay, now let's say I can make it for 3 weeks. Okay, I can make it for 3 weeks. Now let me try to plot some kind of graph over there. We have temperature in degree centigrade is 23, 21, 23, 23, 24, 21, 25, 21, not 22, 112. It is something like this way. Okay, so you can see here. Fine. this type of you know data we have received on daily basis. Okay, so let's say let me draw some kind of graph for this. Yeah, so let me insert some data on this. Let's say I can use a line graph. Yeah, let's say this kind of graph I can see over here. This is my average temperature. Now, based on this average temperature, if I want to find out what should be the expected temperature, what should be the range of temperature in next coming week, how could I do this? Simply go ahead to this graph. Okay, simply go ahead and add one trend line on this. Right. Let's take for this. Let's take as kind of a linear trend line. You have an option. You can go for exponential, logarithmic, based on your requirement only. Let's say we can have a linear trend line, and it could be of red color or something like that. Okay, and it could be make it somewhat 2 point, and see that this is your linear average trend of the temperature. It is lying somewhat between 25 and 26. Right, there's a slight increase from this particular temperature from here. So at least you can predict the range for the next 2 to 3 weeks like this if you have this data. Now you can understand very well your trend line will be very accurate if you have huge amount of data. Now what do we need is we need a specific trend line that we can plot, and based on that which we can understand and analyze our data growth actually. Okay, or we can find out some trend analysis. We can understand what is the trend here and what will be the expectation from the coming time as well. Fine. Now luckily and unluckily, obviously, in case right now we have two different set of news. One is the good news and one is the bad news. Good news is that we have big data, which is basically the collection of huge amount of data which can be used for drawing the most precise trend line, right? But the bad news is that right now we do not have any good environment or any customized environment through which we can analyze that huge amount of data. Of course, yes, Hadoop is there, is a very good environment or very good framework through which we can make all this kind of analysis. But the concern here is, guys, that Hadoop actually works on a batch processing. And there are some other frameworks also, like you can say Spark, Scala, and so on. But these are supposed to be integrated with the Hadoop for their functionality, so that we can get the functionalities which are offered by Hadoop and the speed which is offered by the Spark and Scala. And these kind of options make it little bit complicated, and still we need to have idea about what this data science is and how we can predict the data, predict for the coming time based on whatever data we have for the previous week or day, or based on the requirement itself, right? So I expect that what is this data science, it is clear to you. Now, moving towards like what is the, I'm just giving you the glimpse of whatever we will be covering in our course. So we will cover a R programming language as well, which is very much useful in case of big data analysis and data science as well. So R is basically a kind of a statistical programming language that you can use for creating trends, for creating trend lines, for protecting graphs, right? All these things you can do with the R programming language. We will learn about machine learning through Mahout as well, and we will learn about its matrix measurement, how we can go for the predictive modeling and all. We will understand about data mining, like how you can get more and more data, more and more related set of data over there. We will see about what is this decision tree classifier, what are these random forest actually, how and from where you will be getting data, how you are generalizing that set of data which is required for the predictive analysis. And yes, overall, we will also discuss about the Hadoop architecture, which is, I have just told you that this is a very good tool for processing of the big data as well. We will study from very basics to the advanced level about the data analytics, which actually leads to finding out the business solution for a given set of data. Then we will study about how you can integrate R, which is a statistically programming language, and along with the Hadoop, so that you can get a very meaningful result along with the analysis of the big data that you might have presented to the Hadoop environment. And yes, machine learning we will see with the help of Mahout as well. And in all these cases, it is not only we will be developing some kind of product, we will be understanding what are the various administrative skills also to set up and deploy this data science architecture. So that's all from my end. If you have any query, any question, please refer to our site, Best Price Training, and get back to us as soon as possible. Have a nice time ahead and take a very good care of yourself. Bye bye.